Welcome back, my dear students. This is Mahbub Sultan Akhi, Senior Lecturer of Biology Department, Milestone College. Today, I will discuss the excretory system of human being. My learning objectives are structure of kidney, function of kidney, structure of nephron, function of nephron. That means from my today's lecture, you will be able to explain the structure of kidney, the function of the kidney, and the structure of nephron and the function of nephron. Now, the structure of kidney. The main excretory organ of human body is kidney. Two kidneys lie at the back part of the abdominal cavity on either side of the vertebral column, and the lower part of the rib cage attached to the back wall. That means if this is the vertebral column of human body, then in the both sides these two kidneys are present. Okay, it is at the lower part of the rib cage. That means if here is the rib cage up to this limit, the rib cage are present, then the kidney will be just below the rib cage. Okay, these are red brown in color and bean shaped. This is a bean shaped structure. Okay, this is called bean shaped. This structure is known as bean shaped. Okay, here is an indentation. The outer side of the kidney is convex. This is the outer part. So this is the convex part, and at the inner side is concave. This is the inner side, which is concave. As I have told you earlier that this is the inner side, which is concave, and the outer part is convex. Okay, with an indentation called hilum or hilus. Now, which part is known as hilum? If I draw this like in this format, this concave part, actually this portion is known as hilus or hilum. Okay, so this is the indentation, this portion. The ureter and the renal vein comes out from the hilum, and the renal artery enters the kidney. What does it mean? It means this is the ureter. Okay, this ureter is coming out from the kidney, and also the renal vein is coming out. So the ureter and the renal vein is coming out from the hilum, and the renal artery, which is indicated by red color. This is the renal artery. It is entering the kidney. That means the renal artery enters the kidney, and the renal vein and the ureter coming out from the kidney. Okay, two ureters arises from two kidney and proceeds downward to open into the urinary bladder. This is the ureter. It is the ureter of this kidney. As we have two kidneys, that is why if here is a kidney and here is another one, then from two kidney, two ureter will proceed down, and they will meet the urinary bladder. Okay, so two ureters arises from two kidneys and proceeding downwards to open into the urinary bladder. Okay, the next point is the funnel shaped extended part of the ureter is called the renal pelvis. Now, what is renal pelvis? This is the funnel shaped part of the kidney. Okay, this portion. Now, if I draw the funnel, structure of funnel, it will like this. So it is the extended part. Okay, so this funnel shaped structure, this portion is extended part is called pelvis. Okay, kidney are enclosed with a special fibrous membrane, which is called renal capsule. Actually, this is the covering of the outer membrane of the kidney. This portion, this covering is known as actually renal capsule. So kidneys are enclosed with a special, it is formed by a special fibrous membrane. Okay. Now adjacent to the renal capsule, this portion, okay, this portion is called the cortex. So this is the adjacent portion which is closer to the renal capsule. Adjacent to the renal capsule is the cortex, and the inner side is the medulla. So if this portion is known as the cortex, and this portion will be known as the medulla. Okay, so the adjacent portion is known as cortex, of the adjacent portion of capsule is known as cortex, and the inner portion is known as medulla. Okay, generally there are 8 to 12 renal pyramids are present in the kidney or medulla. So how many? It is up to 8 to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It may be from 8 to 12. Okay. So these are the renal pyramids which are present in the medulla. The apex of each pyramid is called the papilla. This papilla projects directly to the ureter. Now which part is called papilla? If this is the renal pyramid, this apex is called the papilla, which is projected towards the pelvis. Okay. Then each kidney contains a particular type of tubules, which is called uriniferous tubule. I didn't draw these tubules here. Now I am indicating which part it is. In this part, the nephron is present and the collecting tubules are present. This total part is known as uriniferous tubule. Each kidney contains a particular type of tubule called uriniferous tubules. Each uriniferous tubule has two parts. One is nephron and the collecting tubule. Now, if this is the structure of a nephron, these will be the collecting tubules, which is drawn here. Okay, this is the nephron and this portion is the collecting tubules. So the uriniferous tubule is divided into two parts. One is nephron, another part is collecting tubules. Now urine is produced in the nephron. So inside in this portion, that is in the nephron, the urine is produced and the collecting tubule collects this urine to the pelvis. So if this nephron produces the urine which is collected by the collecting tubules, and through in this direction, this collecting tubules passes the urine and it is deposited in the pelvis. Through the pelvis it passes through the ureter. Okay, so this is the structure of a kidney. Now the function of kidney. This is the diagram of the excretory system of human body. We have two kidneys, and these are the renal vein and renal artery, through which oxygen is supplied to the kidney and carbon dioxide is eliminated from the kidney. Moreover, these two are the ureter, and this extended part is the pelvis. Okay. Finally, these two ureter is connected with the urinary bladder, and which is connected with the urethra. Now, the function. The kidneys plays an important role in eliminating different nitrogenous waste products such as urea, uric acid, ammonia, creatinine, etc. So the nitrogenous waste products of our body are these. Each nephron, as I have told you in my previous lecture, that which is nephron, okay, or which one is nephron. Each nephron of the kidney is continuously producing urine through a complex process. So the nephron is the functional unit of kidney, which is situated inside the kidney. Nephron produce continuously urine through a complex process. Okay. This urine reaches to the pelvis. This portion is the pelvis. So here the nephron is present, and through the collecting tubules the urine is passing in or depositing in the inside the pelvis. It is first come to the pelvis, then from the pelvis to the ureter it is passes to the urinary bladder. This urine reaches to the pelvis of kidney through collecting tubules and proceeds through the pelvis, enters the ureter. Through the pelvis it proceeds down and then it is stored in the urinary bladder. The ureter carries urine to the urinary bladder where it is stored. So urine is stored in the or inside the urinary bladder. When this urinary bladder fills with the urine, a sensation of needing urinate is created and allow urine to pass out through the urethra. So when it is filled up with the urine, then the urine is passed through the urethra. In this way, kidney help to expel the nitrogenous waste product from our body. Moreover, the kidney also maintain the balance of mineral salts and sodium, that which mineral salts and sodium chloride and potassium chlorides. The kidney maintain the balance of mineral salts such as sodium chloride, potassium chloride, etc. And it also control the blood pressure and maintain the balance of water, acid and base of the body. These are the functions of kidney. Okay. Now the structure of nephron. First of all, what is nephron? The functional unit and the secretory part of uriniferous tubule of kidney is called nephron. This is the diagram of a nephron. From this diagram, we can see that there is a cup-shaped organ which is known as Bowman's capsule. Okay. Inside this cup-like structure, there are some blood vessels which are known as glomerulus, and there is a tubular-like structure which is known as renal tubule. Now, the main description of the structure of nephron. First of all, each nephron is composed of a renal corpuscle or Malpighian body. The another name of renal corpuscle is Malpighian body and renal tubule. As I have told you, this is the renal tubule. Okay. Now, this portion is known as the renal corpuscle or Malpighian body. Each renal corpuscle is divided into two parts. One is the glomerulus and another one is the Bowman's capsule. This is the blue color part indicates the glomerulus and the cup-like structure indicates the Bowman's capsule. Okay. The Bowman's capsule is a cup-shaped organ composed of two epithelial layers. Now, what is epithelial layer? This is one epithelial layer and this is another epithelial layer. So, it is comprises of two epithelial layers. The Bowman's capsule encloses the glomerulus. This Bowman's capsule encloses the glomerulus. Okay. Then, inside the Bowman's capsule, there is a small, what is glomerulus? Inside the Bowman's capsule, there is a small cluster of blood vessels, which is called glomerulus. These are the blood vessels. Okay. This is surrounded by the Bowman's capsule. It is comprises of a mesh of blood capillaries. Okay. Now, efferent arterioles from the renal artery enters the capsule, that is Bowman's capsule, and divides into about 50 capillaries, which again divide and redivides and form a mesh of fine capillaries. This is the efferent arteriole. Efferent arteriole at first enters into the Bowman's capsule, then it divides and redivides, and first of all it produces 50 blood capillaries. Okay, then these 50 capillaries again divides and redivides, and then it forms a mass of fine capillaries. Okay. The next point is that these capillaries unite together. Which capillaries? The efferent arterioles is divided and from the glomerulus, then they unite together and leave the Bowman's capsule. Okay, these capillaries unite together from the and form the efferent arterioles to leave the Bowman's capsule. So at first the efferent arteriole enters into the Bowman's capsule, then it divides into glomerulus and again redivides. Then all these mesh network or blood capillaries combine together and leave the Bowman's capsule and form efferent arteriole. Okay. Then the glomerulus, here the glomerulus act as the filter. Okay. The glomerulus act as a filter and produce the filtrate from the blood. The blood that passes through this glomerulus contains the nitrogenous waste materials. Those waste materials is filtrated from here and enters into the renal tubules. Okay, this is the this liquid is known as ultrafiltrate. Okay, so what is written here? The glomerulus act as a filter and produce filtrate from the blood. This liquid filtrate is called the ultrafiltrate. Now, these ultrafiltrate, when passing through the tubules, when these filtrate passing through these tubules, then repeatedly goes through absorption and excretion. When this filtrate passes through this tubule, it is absorbed and reabsorbed for several times. Finally, the liquid filtrate that remains is the urine. After repeated absorption and reabsorption, the liquid that remains, that is actually urine, which passes to the ureter through the collecting tubules. So through this filtrate passing through this line, and then it passes the Henle's loop, and finally when it reaches to the collecting tubules, it supplies or the urine goes to the collecting tubule or collects through the collecting tubule. Finally ureter, and finally the liquid filtrate that remains is urine, which passes to the ureter through the collecting tubules and deposit to the urinary bladder. As I have told you in my previous diagram, or that indicate which one is the urinary bladder and which are the ureter. Then what happened? The renal tubules are the convoluted tubules which are behind the Bowman's capsule. So now what is renal tubule? This portion is the renal tubule. This renal tubule is situated where it is just behind the Bowman's capsule. This renal tubule is divided into three regions. The nearest part is known as proximal convoluted tubules. Okay. Then the Henle's loop, the U-shaped part is known as loop of Henle or Henle's loop, and the convoluted part that is just after the Henle's loop, that is known as distal convoluted tubules. So my dear students, when you will write the structure of nephron, you will write the previous points up to this point and then add these 2 points. It will cover the structure of nephron. But when you will write the function of nephron, you have to cover all the points that I have discussed under the structure of nephron, including these 3. Okay, this is the structure and function of nephron, and for this class all these points are discussed that I have discussed: the structure and function of kidney, the structure and function of nephron. That's all for today. In the next class, I will be back with a new lesson. Till then, take care. Have a good day.